Conservative Party leader Pierre Poilievre was told to educate himself by the chiefs this morning for not mentioning his action plan for MMIWG and not recognizing residential school survivors during his morning keynote address to the chiefs. Poilievre was also questioned why he did not mention a plan to address climate change and was told not to commercialize the lands and resources for infrastructure and jobs. Several leaders and veterans also chose to stand and show Poilievre their backs during his speech. If he is to become the next Prime Minister, Poilievre talked about conservative values being the same as Indigenous values. He promised to cut the bureaucratic red tape to streamline much-needed infrastructure projects in First Nations. He wants to make sure the revenue made from the resources will go directly towards First Nations first and help build more housing and bring down the cost of food in the north, among many other promises.
This is my first meeting with you in person, but I hope it will be the first of many. I want the next generation of Canada and the next government that I hope to have the privilege to lead, to build a genuine partnership with First Nations, a nation-to-nation relationship based on the recognition of rights and mutual respect.
His speech ended with some chiefs shouting at Poilievre that if he is to become Prime Minister, he needs to answer more questions. NDP leader Jagmeet Singh was up next and used much of his time to discredit everything Poilievre said and advised the chiefs not to trust him. He then noted a list of accomplishments the NDP has helped with for Indigenous people. He also offered to stay longer for more questions from the chiefs, which was met with cheers and applause. Here is what one of the AFN participants had to say who gave Poilievre his back, alongside a First Nation veteran, along with comments from Jagmeet Singh on Poilievre.
And I saw the veteran standing with his back to Pierre Poilievre. That's when I started. I could feel my Two-Spirit ancestors were like, you got to do something as well, because Pierre Poilievre has publicly attacked our Two-Spirit community and members of our Two-Spirit community, and he hides behind parental rights. So I talked to members of my council, I talked to the Women's Council who were sitting behind me, and my aunties were like, go stand beside him.
Clearly he's not someone that's going to stand on the side of Indigenous people. And I feel like it was obvious in the room. The chiefs and the leadership knew that as well. They knew that the Conservatives, specifically Pierre Poilievre, did not actually come with a real message that connected with what they're going through. It's clear who he is. He's shown who he is to Indigenous people multiple times.
More resolutions will be discussed this afternoon on fisheries, education, and treaty, along with reaction from the Harris family on the Skibitsky decision. Chris Najkate, APTN National News, Montreal.